So last Sunday, my family gathered at my cousin Greg's place for dinner, a classic suburban get-together with all the usual suspects, aunts comparing casserole recipes, uncles arguing about lawnmowers, and cousins trying to one-up each other with childhood embarrassments. Greg, who has recently been on a culinary adventure kick, subjecting us to whatever he finds on the Food Network at 2 a.m., announced that he'd be serving his new specialty, mystery meatloaf. He claimed it was inspired by a secret blend of flavors, which, in our family, is code for I hope you have strong stomachs and good insurance. Things started off normal enough, well, except for the meatloaf, which looked like it had been assembled by someone blindfolded in a dark alley during a blackout. But we're a supportive bunch, so we all dug in, trying to identify the mystery ingredient, or, in my case, praying it wasn't roadkill. That's when we noticed Max, the family dog, staring intently at the table, his nose twitching and his head cocked in the way that says, "I know what you did last supper." Every time someone took a bite, Max would shuffle closer, eyeing us with suspicion, like he'd been watching too many crime dramas. About halfway through dinner, Max jumped up on a chair, which he never does, planted his paws on the table, and let out a bark that can only be described as accusatory. He then began sniffing each family member, pausing dramatically in front of Greg, as if demanding a confession. Aunt Linda started sweating. Uncle Dan attempted to bribe Max with a bread roll. The tension was thick. Suddenly, Max dove under the table and emerged triumphantly, not with a scrap of meatloaf, but with a slobbery, slightly chewed tennis ball that none of us recognized. The room fell silent, all eyes on Greg. Greg sheepishly admitted he'd borrowed the neighbor's tennis ball earlier to tenderize the meat, a technique he'd seen on a questionable cooking blog. Turns out, the real mystery in the meatloaf wasn't what was in it, but what was missing, the neighbor's prized tennis ball. So if you're ever at Greg's for dinner, just remember, his meatloaf might be a little undercooked, but his alibis are always well done.